Good morning everyone, it's lovely to be back on my mat. This is going to be a 45-minute approximately intermediate level class, which is in Pilates terms is called level 2 to 3, and for future classes you're going to need a few props, a band, a red ball, and you probably all have one of these at home, a tennis ball, and you could make yourselves a pillow or some padding for your lower back by just rolling up a blanket or a thin towel. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start off with a tennis ball, and I'm going to do this sideways on so that you can actually see. If you put the tennis ball down on the floor and put your foot onto it, and you can also use one of your spiky balls, you know, the little spiky massage balls. Put your foot onto it and put it on the outside edge of your foot, just behind the big toe joint on the arch, and you're going to press hard and just roll the ball up from top to bottom. And do 3 of those stripes up through the arch of the foot. One on the outside, one in the middle, and one on the other side. And then just pop your foot heel down on the floor and zigzag your foot across from the inside of the arch to the outside of the arch, making sure you've covered the entire surface area of your foot, and then lift your foot up. And do the other side. So you're going to put the foot down and then press hard and roll the ball up from the front to the back. This is not going to be pleasant, it can be a little bit uncomfortable. And take it onto the outside edge of your foot, and then put your foot down and just do a zigzag across. Now this just gets the feet stimulated and gets all that sort of tension that we build up in our feet from having them in shoes all the time to release. Then you're going to put your ball down, bring it back, and put the ball of your foot back onto it, so you've just got it behind the bones of your foot, and allow your toes just to soften over the top of the ball. And then carefully take a stand forward with your other leg and keep your heel pressed down onto the floor, and we're just going to go for a lunge, a small lunge to open out the back of the leg. So you're going to try and keep your back knee straight. Now if this is too hard, if it feels too tight on the back of your leg, just take the ball out at this point and do a normal lunge. And then swap sides. So you're putting the ball underneath the arch of the foot, and your heel stays down, and you're lunging with the other knee. Just allow your toes to hang forward over the top of the ball. Just hold that position for a couple of breaths and bring your feet back. Okay, so that's all we're going to do with the ball today. In the meantime, I want you to stand up nice and tall on your mat. Bring your feet into parallel, so there's a gap of another foot of your feet in between your feet, and I want you to lift up your shoulders and take a big breath in. And imagine there are 2 half oranges behind the back of your ears, and you're going to squeeze all the juice out of them. And then gently roll your shoulders back and allow the shoulders to drop. You need to do 2 more, so breathing in, squeeze up, and breathe out and drop down. Just to get a bit of movement into the top of the shoulders. Let's get rid of all that tension you've been building up over the last few days, maybe even the last few weeks. And then link your hands together. And as you breathe in, bring your arms up and just reach up with the backs of your hands towards the ceiling. And let the hands drop back down again. So they're going up, reach, and they're dropping down. Now turn the palms to face towards the ceiling and press up again. And drop back down. Last one, are you going to reach up and then bring the backs of your hands towards the crown of your head. They're not going to touch the crown of the head, and we're going to polish our halo by taking the hands back, around, forward, and just do 4 of those. And I want you to try, and for the first 4, not to move your upper body too much. This is really just working into the shoulders. And then other directions. So I can feel that all the way through the front of my shoulders, through the front of my arms, into my collarbones, as I just open up the tension that's built up in the front of the chest now. And you might feel that in between your shoulder blades. Now we're going to reverse the direction, and this time allow your body to move a bit more. So we're allowing the rib cage to move for the next 4. Keep your knees soft, everyone. And then other direction. So breathing, normal breathing. You might feel that your hands are very uncomfortable in this position, but just bear with it. And then bring your hands back to center and lower your arms down and just give your wrists a little bit of a wiggle. Shrug your shoulders up and drop them back down. And I'm going to turn sideways on again because we're going to do a roll down and we're going to come all the way down onto the mat. So nodding your head forward, drop your chin. Draw up the skin of your tummy and allow your shoulders just to roll forward. When your fingertips reach the floor, I'd like you to bend your knees. Now keep your feet flat as possible to start off with, so that you're going down and you're reaching up with your heels. Just hold that position, see if you can straighten your legs a little bit more. And bend them. And straighten them. And bend them. Good. Straighten them. Now bend them. Bend your elbows, bend your knees, lift your heels, and you're going to push your body weight forward, so you're bringing your chest forward as if it's coming over the front of your hands. Push back. Push your heels down and reach your heels into the floor. And 2 more. So you're hovering your heels up. Let your elbows bend as you take your chest forward. Keep pressing the floor away. Come back. Press your heels down and reach into the floor. 2 more. So hover the heels up. Keep the knees hovering. Take your weight forward. Keep your head lifted and take it back. Push your heels down. And then lift up your heels, bring yourselves into that position, lower your knees down onto the floor. You may want to uncurl your toes now and walk your hands a little bit further forward. And from here you're going to do a cat stretch. So tailbone, lower back, middle back, upper back, round up through the shoulders, let your head go. Uncurl through the tail, lower back, middle back, upper back. Bring the back of the head up. And 2 more, so curl. Just work through your spine. Feel as if your tummy's drawing up and engaging with your spine to make it articulate one way and then the other. Last one, curl your tailbone underneath you. Hold that position and just take a small rock backwards. With your tail really tucked, you won't be able to go very far. And then bring it forward and uncurl through your tail. 2 more of those. So you're going to curl. You're going to keep the pressure into your palms and rock back. Feel the skin of your lower back stretching. And bring yourself forward and uncurl. And once again, curl and lean back. See if maybe you can go back a little bit further this time, but fight to keep your tail curled under you. And back. Uncurl, find a flat back position. It's not a collapsed position, it's just flat. You've got your tummy working. And just rock with the tailbone rocking back towards your heels and back and forth. Trying to open up through the hips. So what you're trying to do is not grip with your thighs, so that you get that free movement that we want to have through the top of the femurs, through the top of the legs, so that your pelvis is moving freely over the top of your femurs, over the top of your thigh bones, and not getting very grippy. Good. Bring yourself back to center. Now I want you to keep a flat back for this one. We're going to do a threading of the needle. You're going to take your arms through. You're going to thread it through. Rotate. Look underneath your armpit. Bring everything back and pop your hand back down. Other side. So rotate through. And back. And bring your hand back down. 2 more. Rotating. and back. Please notice I'm not collapsing completely onto the mat. So try not to just drop your shoulder too low. Feel as if you're resisting and keeping your ribs moving out in the opposite direction as you rotate. And breathe. Last one. And bring yourself back to your central position. We're going to stay on our hands and knees. Just rock back to release your wrists a little bit. And this time, tuck your toes underneath you. Press into the palms of your hands and hover your knees up off the floor. So with the knees hovering this time, you're going to take your weight forward and back, keeping those thighs open. So your tailbone has to stick out a little bit. And if this is too loaded for your wrists, you can roll up the front of your mat, you can put blocks under your hands, you can make fists, or you just miss it out completely. So 2 more. You should feel your quads starting to work now. And I think this is the last one. And then bring yourself back to center and very slowly lower your knees back down onto the ground. Let's uncurl the toes and take yourself right back into a shell stretch. Reaching out with your arms, stretching your fingertips away from you. Bring yourself back. Now hold that position and from here slide, or don't slide the foot back like that, but just push out your heel and you'll find that your leg is holding you up. Nice and strong. Push out through your heel. Proud through the breastbone, and then fold your knee back down again. Other side, reach out, push out through the heel, get your glute working, and fold your knee back down. 2 more, reach out, and fold the knee back down, and reach out, and fold the knee back down. Now, we're going to reach out with that leg, and I want you to roll the foot so you're on the side of your foot. Push up into a side bend or side reach. So you're reaching up towards the ceiling, but this foot is pressing into the floor. Now from here, we're going to engage the tummy and we're going to do a threading of the needle movement again. So you thread your arm through. Can't get very far. This arm is straight. Breathe in and rotate. Now feel that as you do that, you're going to open through your chest a little bit more. Breathing out, thread the needle. Try and keep the lower part of your body still, your hips still, your legs still. Try and breathe in when you get to this position, and breathe out. Once again, hold the position, lift the breastbone a little bit higher, and then slowly bring your hand back down. Bring your foot back and draw your knee back in underneath you. Other side, so you're tucking the toe underneath you, pushing out through the heel, rolling onto the side of your foot. Press up. And looking at me from the back, you want to keep your supporting arm still and the side of your foot pressing into the floor, or the sole if you can reach. And then rotate. Breathe in, open. Now lift the chest and just open it a little bit more. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, lift that breastbone a little bit more, press into your arm. Now you're going to bring your hand back down to where it was. You're going to bring your toe back in underneath you. You're going to bring your knee back in underneath you. You're going to sit back against your heels and slide your hands a little bit further away from you. Just wiggle your hips. Bring yourself down onto your tummy and bring your thumb and index finger towards each other so that you're in the diamond press position. So you've got a nice width out through your shoulders and your collarbones are open in the front, but your legs are reaching back. And then once again, think of your eyes, or look at the floor, think of your eyes being in line more or less with the diamond in front of you. So once you bring your forehead into it, draw your shoulders down, lift your head, And then breathe in, and as you breathe out, press your breastbone forward towards that diamond, keeping the bottom of your ribs heavy, keeping your pelvis heavy, and not collapsing into your tummy, to keep your lower back here unaffected by this movement. And then breathe your way down. So choose your own breathing. I like an in-breath to come up, but you do whatever feels right. And then breathe out when you're up, and let your bottom rib, this rib, drop down into the mat again, and roll your spine down. So think of this as a forward movement, in other words, a lengthening of your spine, rather than just an upward movement. And make sure your shoulder blades have slid down out of the way. Keep your elbows heavy, reach out with your legs, and slowly roll your spine back down again. Bring your head down. Last one. The head and neck are lifting, your breastbone is going forward, your shoulder blades are coming down. You're holding that position. Now drop down onto the bottom of your ribs and just feel that weight into the mat. Pull up the tummy, and keeping your elbow down, just pivot your hand towards your forehead, and then pivot your other hand towards your forehead. So you've got the elbows just resting on the floor. Breathe out, send your breastbone forward a little bit, and see if you can lift the weight of your elbows up and lower them down for 4. So engage your tummy, lift up the elbows, lower them back down, lift them up, lower them down. Last one, lift them up, lower them down. You're going to lower your head and shoulders down as well, and then just take your hands and press yourself back against your heels. Hold that shell stretch for a minute or an instant. We haven't got very long down here, so we're going to get through the exercises. And then I'd like you to come up into a sitting position. So I'm going to do this sideways on, so you can see. And we're going to be sitting with our feet hip distance or 6 inches or so apart. If you feel that you need it, you can always grab your pink band and put it around your feet. But I prefer initially if you just hold the backs of your legs. So as you hold the backs of the legs, take the weight off your legs. Just hold them in your arms, drop your shoulders, find your sitting bones. Looking straight ahead, just let your tailbone curl underneath you, and you're trying to curve into your lower back, bringing your pubic bone slightly forward, and you're rolling onto the back of the pelvis, but only so far as you can keep your arms in position. Then find middle tummy, pull in, pull with the arms, press into the sit bones, roll up through the spine. 3 more of those. So breathing out, just curl back, breathe in to hold, pull in middle tummy, restack your spine, bring your head up. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, pull, inhale, restack. Last one. Breathe in, pull into the tummy, roll your spine up, and restack your spine. Good. Now bring your arms forward, and you're dropping your shoulders so that you feel you haven't got a grippy sensation up around the top of your shoulders. Your arms are in your armpits. You're taking a breath in, and then preparing as you breathe out to just roll back and feel your back slightly curved. Engage your tummy, scoop the tummy, send your fingertips forward and roll your spine up. 2 more. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, hold. Exhale, roll forward. Now I'm literally just rolling to the back of my pelvis. So I'm just going to where you feel the bones of your pelvis are going to end. For some people, just imagine your jeans pockets, and you're rolling to the top of those pockets, no further. Try and keep the top of the pocket squeezed down underneath you. Breathe out, pull your tummy in a little bit further, and see if you can bring your shoulders forward just a little bit more. So you're bringing your upper body forward, don't push with the arms, keep them nice and soft, and then scoop in, and at the last minute, roll your pelvis back up. Try that once again. So rolling to the very end of the pockets. Drop your shoulders. Scoop in the tummy, curl the tailbone under you, just feel where those pockets are ending. Stay on them, bring your shoulder forward, bring your body forward, roll your spine all the way up. Okay, let shoulders relax for a second. And we're going to go further back, we're going to go back towards the top of your waistband, so you've gone past your pockets, up to the top of your waistband. Imagine it actually does come around your waist. Try and keep the distance between your ribs and your hip bones. And then as you breathe out, roll back. So you're going onto that waistband. Just find it, find it. Now try and keep the soles of your feet down. Breathe in. As you exhale, pull in your middle tummy and feel that you're keeping your waistband down. And see if you can bring your shoulders forward a little bit more. Really fight to keep that tummy pulled in. Then rock forward and restack your spine. Have a little rest. Get ready to do that again. So exhaling, rolling back. Now if any of you find this really hard, you're going to roll up your towel and just put it behind your lower back to give you a bit more support. So that when you press into that end of the waistband, you've got a little bit more support, and you're going to scoop the tummy and really try and stay there before you roll your spine up. That is pretty intense. Okay, not satisfied with that, we're going to add to it. We won't go quite so far back. So find the top of your pockets again. So as we roll back, we're going to keep the arms in this soft bent position, shoulders dropped. What tends to happen is we tend to hunch like this, and then our necks get all tight and our shoulders get tight. So think of the neck sort of elongated, the shoulders away from the head, and then just curl back. And find the top of those pockets again. So you're on the edge of the pelvis. You're deepening the tummy. Now have that sensation of coming forward a little bit, but trying to keep the pocket down. And as we inhale, we're going to open one arm out to the side, and then we're going to bring it back. Other side, inhale. Exhale forward. I want you to do 6 of those, so there's 3 on each side. Try not to grip into your legs. Consciously try and relax your legs and engage your tummy. Open and back. Open and back. Last time. Open and back. Open and back. Hold. Send your hands down the fronts of your legs. Just slide forward and allow your head to drop down all the way in between your legs. Okay, now this is another point where if you need to, you can use your band around your legs, or you can take your rolled up towel and just pop it behind the small of your back to give you some support. Because we're going to do the full roll up, so we want to reach our fingertips forward. I'm going to get these out of the way now. Reach the fingertips forward, drop the shoulders and press the feet into the floor. Now think of your feet pushing forward. Really try and keep them in position as you curl. Find the pockets, the top of the pockets of your trousers. Breathe out, try and roll your lower back into the top of the waistband. Roll down through the entire spine, and then bring your head down and reach your arms back behind you. Now, where your eyes look is really important. Try not to look behind you or at the ceiling. Try to keep your eyes fixed on the horizon in front of you. Bring your arms forward. As soon as they come to that point, bring your head forward, your shoulders forward, and curl forward. And when you get to the point where you're sitting on your sit bones, restack your spine. Let's do 2 more. So breathing out, you can add a little bit of movement now, a little bit of speed, but still try and keep the heels reaching away. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, come forward, scoop your tummy. Reach your fingertips forward. Press into your sitting bones. Roll your spine up. And again. Forward with the arms. Nod your head forward. Reach forward. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to walk the feet back to where they were. I'd like you to hold into the backs of your legs. Hover your toes up, hover your legs up. Let your tailbone tuck underneath you, and let your gaze drop down into your tummy. Now you're going to hold that shape in your back. So once again, it's middle tummy pulling in as you roll back. And find your balance position. Try not to kick your legs up. So roll. And back. And roll. And back. Just focus on trying to keep the shape in your back. Not throw your head back. Head supposedly off the floor. Hold your balance. And then once again, pop your feet back down onto the floor. Check that your feet are about 6 inches apart and just bring them a little closer in towards you. And pressing the sides of your hands against your legs, roll slowly down onto your mat and bring your arms down beside you. So from here, we're going to do bridging. Let your shoulders drop. Once again, your eyes are forward. If you need to put something behind your head, do. But make sure your head isn't hanging in that position. Breathe in. As you curl your tailbone underneath you, feel your lower back, your waistband drop into the floor. Get your buttocks to squeeze. I just want you to hold that position for a couple of breaths. Feeling that as you curl your tail under you, you're dropping the waistband down a little bit deeper into the floor, pulling in your middle tummy. Just see if you can curl that tail up a little bit and then gently uncurl it. Let's do 3 of those. So we're getting engaged with the abdominal muscles that attach onto your pubic bone in this hot triangle of muscle, and then roll down. So if you imagine the bones of your spine, your tailbone, your coccyx is curling away from the mat, pulling the sacrum, the pelvis up, and allowing your lumbar spine, your lower back bones to drop into the floor. The rest of the spine is unaffected. You're feeling just relaxed through your upper back. And roll your tailbone down. Once you've done that, we're coming up into the full bridge. So I want you to curl just a wee bit off the mat. Then get your inner thighs working. Think of your inner thighs drawing slightly towards each other as you push out through your knees, dragging your pelvis up off the ground and not lifting up through your, arching through your back, keeping your back passive because it's your lower back, your glutes, your hamstrings that are doing the work here. Breathe in and reach your arms back behind you, and then on a sighing out breath, roll your spine down and bring your arms down. And once again, curl the spine, push your knees forward. Inhale to bring your arms back. Exhale to roll your spine down. Inhale to bring your arms down. 2 more. Exhale to roll up. Inhale to reach back. Roll down. Let's keep the arms down for the next one. Roll the spine up. Hold that position. Now we're just going to arch and curl the spine. I'm feeling as if my feet are a little bit too far away from me, so I'm going to bring them in a bit. Don't bring them right in there, but just keep your feet below your knees. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, squeeze your hips up a little bit higher, and then let them drop down. And squeeze up, and drop down. And squeeze up, and drop down. 2 more. Squeeze up, drop down. Last one. Squeeze the hips up. Hold. Bring your knees together and hold them together for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the knees. Roll the spine all the way down again. Rolling up once again. We're going to hold the position where we've got our breastbone slightly dropped, our knees reaching forward, and the weight is going to go imperceptibly onto the left foot so we feel our left glute working to fold up the right leg. And from here, I want you to do 3 toe taps to the floor. 1, 2, 3. Bring your leg up, hold it there, just knee above hip, and roll your spine down, and then roll it back up again. And once you're up, lower your foot onto the floor. Press into the right foot, activate that right side, and fold the other leg up. And tap. 1, 2. Make sure your hip doesn't collapse as you do that. You're keeping the hips even. Lift the knee, roll the spine down and up. And all the way up again. Press into your foot, lower your foot back down, roll your spine all the way down. Okay, so a quick glute stretch. Cross one leg over the other. Keep your head down. Reach to your knees. Now, take one knee and the other knee in each hand and just pull your knees apart slightly. Avoid doing this if you've had a recent hip replacement or if you've got any groin pain. Just do what you feel is right for your own body. Pull the legs apart. I'm working my hands slightly further down my shins. I'm going to do one more and I'm bringing the hands towards my ankles. I'm just going to pull apart and I want you to hold for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and release. Cross over the other leg, hand on knee and pull apart. Hold that position. And then slightly lower. And then if you want to do the lowest one, just pull. Otherwise, just keep your hands on your knees if you want to. But just hold this stretch for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release your legs out. Put your feet wide onto the mat. Take your arms out, roll one knee towards the other ankle, press into the foot, just allow your back to move, and roll your knees back to centre. Other side, rock the knees across, and back. Rock them across, and back, and then to the last side, open, and bring your knees back to centre. Hug your knees in towards you. Take a moment of just drawing your knees in. Bring your legs out again. And bring your knees together. And you're going to take your arms out into that position again. So let's rock the knees once again. And back. Starting to feel the waist is working. You're keeping your shoulders down. You're rotating through your waist to get the movement. So you're not hitching up on one side. Ankles are glued together, knees are glued together, and you're trying to keep your knees more or less level so one doesn't drop back. Reach out into the other leg. So as I go to that side, I'm pushing my knees, so I'm opening out through that side. Bring myself back to centre. Draw your knees in a little bit closer, and this time link your hands and bring them behind your head. Lift the elbows into your peripheral vision, and on an exhale, glide your chest up towards your thighs and roll your head and shoulders back down again. Do 3 of those, so exhaling to come forward. Inhale, hold. Exhale, roll back down. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, hold. Exhale, roll down. One more and hold your position. Now you've just got your lower back tipped down towards the floor. I'd like you to glide your knees out to where they can go and just do some little rocks across the base of the pelvis. Try to keep your upper body still to start with. Now there's a bit of a balance challenge going on. Before we add a counter movement. So as you bring your knees across, lift your chest up and across to the opposite side. Elbows wide. And back, and twist, and open, and back, and twist and open and back. Good. 3 more sets. 1, 2, 3, back to center, roll your spine down and just draw your knees in towards you. So just remember that whole exercise could be done with your head and shoulders on the ground. If you don't feel comfortable curled forward, you could also put a ball behind the back of your neck. Holding that position, and this exercise, we're doing single leg stretch, can be done with your hands behind your head. But we're going to do the classic exercise. You're going to put one hand on your knee, one hand on your ankle. You're going to curl forward, and I want the pressure down into your leg as you reach out with the other leg. And 1. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring your knees in and roll your spine all the way down. Bring your hands behind your head now. We're going to do crisscross. So the aim of crisscross is not to roll the body all over the place. It's to keep stable. And as you breathe out, curl forward. Now I'm going to go to this side first. So what I want to do is pull that knee in towards me and reach out with the other leg. And as I do so, I'm rotating. Now I'm trying to keep the length up through this side. So I'm not hitching up. I'm drawing my knee in towards me, finding that intensity. And then I'm going to open my elbows and hold that position. And do 4 slow single leg stretch. Reach and rotate. Just deepen that rotation. Open the elbows and back. And rotate and open and back. I'm feeling the muscles on my straight leg really working. Right up the back of my leg into my glute. Tummy working. And last one, rotate, reach, bring myself back to center, draw my knees in, hug the knees in. I'm going to place one foot down onto the ground and lift the other leg up to the ceiling. Okay, so I'd like a real reach out through your heel in this position. We're going to do leg circles. Now you can keep your foot like that, or you can reach away with your opposite leg. The heel reaches away. Just for this particular exercise, we're going to bring the leg towards us, and as we breathe out, we're going to circle the leg down, out, around. Now what you'll notice is that I'm drawing a circle with my big toe, so I'm slightly rotating the leg in the hip socket, and I'm really fighting in my abdominals to keep that stability. This leg is pressing down, and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, bring the leg back to center, hold the back of your knee, just draw your knee in towards you and do a couple of hamstring stretches. So I'm trying to keep my knee as close to my body as possible, and I'm going to bend and straighten and bend and straighten and bend and straighten, and then draw this knee back and place your foot back down onto the floor. Lift up the other leg, reach up that leg, push through the sole of your foot. If that feels okay and you don't want to add anything to it, keep this knee bent. Otherwise, stretch out your leg, keep stability. We're going to go to that direction this time, so pull up the tummy, and we're doing 4 circles. 2, 3, remember I'm drawing the circle with my big toe. 4, and up, other direction, so 1. Remember to keep working the back of your long leg, the one that's pressing into the floor. Activate your tummy. And bring your leg up to center. I'll just do one more for luck because I can't remember how many I've done. Bring my knee in towards me, bend the knee, and just try and keep that very close to your body as you activate a hamstring stretch. So we're going to do 4 of those. Got number 2, number 3, number 4, and then bring this leg back. Good. Now, just roll your knees to the side and roll up into a side position and facing forward. We're going to do some mermaid stretches. And you can always put your mat or your cushion underneath here, or even a ball if your leg feels uncomfortable, and place yourself on a couple of blocks. However, we're just going to let our shoulders drop now. You're going to place your hand down onto the mat, let your elbow drop onto the mat, and side bend over. Now, what I'm trying to do is get this hip to drop and to keep a lift up underneath my ribs. And then I'm using my tummy to bring me up and counter stretch. Just going to do 3 of those. So let shoulders drop, over to the side, let your elbows drop, and reach. Bring yourself back. Counter stretch. Last one. Drop the hip. Bring yourself back, lift up. Counter stretch. Bring your hands down and then simply take your legs over to the opposite side. Get your position. Lift up the arms. Tilt. Elbow down. And back. Very contemplative. Let that hip drop. And back. Fingertip, elbow. Reach. Come up. Good. Last one. Bring yourself back. Place both hands down on your mat. Sling your legs out behind you again and bring yourselves down onto your tummies. Tuck your ribs down in underneath you. Make sure you've got that length out through your tail. Looking towards the camera, I'm going to bring my cheek down onto the mat. I'm going to bring my hands into the small of my back, keeping my elbows lifted and my knees bent. I want to bring my heels towards my bottom. Now, just feel, as you feel that tension as the heels come towards you and your thighs lengthen, the sense that you're going to almost try and lift your thighs off the ground. We're not lifting them up like that, but it's just a sense of tension between the hip bone and the knees. You're pressing hard into your pelvis. And you're going to do 3 little, let's do 2 little kicks rather, not 3, 2 little kicks in towards our buttocks. So 1, 2. We're going to start to reach out our legs. As we do that, we're looking down and reaching out through the arms. So we're going into an exercise called double leg kick, and we're going 1, 2, reach and lengthen. And last one. Reach out, straighten your legs, lower your legs slowly down onto the mat. Bring your arms forward, fingertips forward, wiggle the hips. Draw your shoulders down, lift up your head. Keep the elbows down. Start to push with your arms, lift the tummy, come up into your swan. And then roll your spine down. So if you're very bendy, if you're very flexible, try not to collapse into your lower back, but draw the tummy up and get a very symmetrical curve that goes from your tailbone up through your shoulders to the crown of your head. Press your palms down, draw your shoulders down, lengthen out through your legs. Roll your spine down, lengthen, 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 lengthen. Bring the forehead down. Last one. Head and neck come up. Press into your palms. Lift. And then roll your spine all the way down. Bring your head down, push with your hands, sit back against your heels. Once again, take that little wiggle through your hips. Start a long breath in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. Last one. Breath in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose. Tuck your toes underneath you. Walk your hands back. Roll your spine up. Bring yourself back onto your feet. Make sure that you've got the weight into the middle of your feet. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, drop your chin and roll your spine down. Just let everything go, except for the tummy. Just let your back go, let your shoulders go, let your wrists go, let your neck go. Sigh. Let yourself drop a little bit further, and then as you breathe out, curl your tailbone underneath you. Roll your spine up. Drop your shoulders at the top. Lengthen up. Find your perfect posture. Thank you very much.